Imagine a woman whose very presence is enough to end a fight. No crown, no throne, just Zainabama. When she walks into a room, arguments just stop. Her authority is a force of nature, something felt in the air itself. She created a group called the Stabilizers, not to rule, but to get things done. And they did. Suddenly, drains were unclogged, granaries were organized, and life became efficient. The people who for so long had listened to the grand speeches and empty promises of the council started to see that results mattered more than ideals. They began to turn to the Stabilizers, and by extension, to Zainabama for solutions. The council leader, Chitibar, felt this shift like a cold wind. He watched as his own influence faded, his words losing their weight against the tangible proof of the Stabilizer's success. He was becoming a relic, a voice from a time before things worked. It was the quiet seer, Yamonik, who gave voice to the growing unease. She found Zainabama one evening, the setting sun painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. "Be careful," she whispered, her voice like dry leaves rustling. "You are becoming the answer to every fear, the solution to every problem. When one person becomes the answer to everything, the people forget how to ask questions." The first real test came swiftly. A merchant, a hoarder of grain who profited from a manufactured famine, was dragged before Zainabama. The crowd bayed for blood, their hunger turning to rage. The old laws demanded a harsh penalty, a public spectacle of punishment. But Zainabama looked at the trembling man and saw not a monster, but a product of a broken system. "Exa," she declared, her voice cutting through the noise. "He will live, but not among us." It was a choice of mercy over vengeance, a statement of her new way. But in enforcing her command, her Stabilizers tasted something new. They felt the surge of power that comes from being the instruments of order, the ones who carry out the sentence. It was a subtle but profound shift. For the first time, they weren't just fixing things, they were commanding people. Chitibar, desperate to understand his waning power, started digging. What he found shook him to his core. He discovered secret ledgers, hidden accounts, members of his own council. The very people who preached tradition and deliberation were secretly funding the Stabilizers. They were betting on the future, hedging against their own obsolescence by investing in Zainabama's efficient new order. They saw which way the wind was blowing.